There is an urgent need for Pakistan to admit that this man, Usman Naved, is a Pakistani. And tonight on debate number 1, we have guests from Pakistan and India. And our attempt will be to put a little bit more light on this issue. Now, from Pakistan tonight, we have Barrister Zahid Syed, former diplomat. And with him is Nehal Hashmi, he's General Secretary and Senator PML from Islamabad. Mr. Hashmi and Barrister Zahid, nice to see you on the Newshour. General Ghulam Mustafa is a defense analyst. He's joining from Lahore. Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, defense analyst, is joining from London. Maroof Raza, Times Now's consulting editor and India's most respected voice on strategic affairs, joining us from Delhi. Sushant Sareen, very respected for his insights on strategic affairs from the Vivekananda International Foundation from Delhi. And General Shankar Prasad, my first question is to you. General Shankar Prasad, time's running out. Let's go very clear on this. Do you think it's important or not tonight for the Pakistani guests and Pakistan in general to come to terms that this man, Naved Usman, is a Pakistani?
They can try their very best, but I don't think they're likely to succeed. There is such glaring evidence. They may say that the evidence which is produced before them has been doctored by intelligence agencies, but they should see that even the villagers who spoke to him, he admitted that he's come from Pakistan. He admitted that the number of days he's been here. He admitted that the mission for killing Indians. He admitted that he was an LET man. He admitted that he'd been trained twice. So even a simple question answer with untrained interrogators, this information is coming. How can anybody ever deny this now? I can't understand why on earth should Pakistan deny that this man... Unfortunately, Arnab, there seems to be a pen drive which is issued to all the people who speak from Pakistan, which contains the same dialogue which they used at the time of Qasab. So this pen drive is available as a government issue to everybody, and they repeat the same dialogue. He doesn't have an identity card, he's not registered here, this, that and the other. The fact is simple that even the Pakistani journalists have come out with it. Why go to Pakistan? There is so much evidence. And I think the last thing I'd like to say is this: even if all of it doesn't work, can we produce him before the NSA of Pakistan and let him interrogate him directly and find out who's this man? I can't understand why Pakistan must deny it so quickly. It's just a matter of few hours and they straight away, no, he's not our guy. Come on, guys, listen to what's happening. Face reality.
Mr. Hashmi,
man, what's the problem?
Mr. Hashmi, why have you disowned this terrorist? Why have you said he's not a Pakistani when there's ample proof to prove that he is?
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। देखिए जी, हमारी जो सरकार है उसकी राजनीति ये नहीं है। हमारी राजनीति बड़ी क्लियर है, दो टूक है। हम खुद आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जंग लड़ रहे हैं और हमारी जो 2 साल से हुकूमत आई है, हमने तमाम आतंकवाद को और तमाम इस तरह की जो भी आतंकवाद संगठनें हैं उसको हमने उसकी निंदा की है पूरे दुनिया में और अपने खित्ते में भी, अपने इस क्षेत्र में भी हमने निंदा की उसकी बहुत ज़्यादा। हमें तो ताज्जुब ये हो रहा है कि आप एक न्यायालय बन गए हैं। आप न्यायालय बन करके अभी एक केस रजिस्टर्ड नहीं हुआ, एक मासूम को पकड़ लिया आपने और आपने कहा पाकिस्तानी आतंकवादी है। देखिए जैसे हालिया दिनों में भारतीय लड़की गीता वो भी पाकिस्तान में आ गई, तो क्या हमने उसे कहा कि ये कोई रॉ ने भेजा? देखिए मैं आपको बात आपसे बड़ा क्लियर करेंगे। आप 1 मिनट जरा प्लीज, एक दिन जरा आप मुझे बोलने दें। आपको निंदा करना चाहिए था जब आज से चंद माह पहले आपके प्रधानमंत्री साहब ढाका यात्रा में उन्होंने वहां पे खुद इस बात का उन्होंने आलोचना किया था कि उन्होंने मुक्ति बाहिनी के साथ मिलकर के जो राष्ट्रीय आजादी थी, स्वाधीनता था बांग्लादेश का, उसमें उन्होंने अपने रक्तदान किया है और आपकी सरकार ने उसके रक्तदान किया है। तो पहले तो इस तरह के केस को पकड़े जहां पे एक प्रधानमंत्री एक राजनीति करने राजनीति
हाशमी जी में जाकर के हाशमी जी एक मिनट मेरे हाथ में एक फोन है हाशमी जी, और इस फोन में एक सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल्ड है हाशमी जी, उसका नाम है ट्रू कॉलर। और इस ट्रू कॉलर सॉफ्टवेयर को यूज करके मैं इस वक्त जो मेरे पास जो नंबर है जो इंटेरोगेटर्स को दिया है, ये जनाब जो है जो टेररिस्ट को आपने भेजा था, ये ट्रू कॉलर में मैं दिखा सकता हूं कि ये किसका फोन है। मैं नंबर दिखाऊंगा 2 मिनट में। कैन आई जस्ट आस्क माय कॉलीग टू कम इन एंड हेल्प मी विद दिस? मैं आपको इस वक्त इस वक्त आपको दिखाऊंगा मैं नंबर डाल के सुन लीजिए। नहीं 1 मिनट, लोग देख रहे हैं। नहीं सुनिए मेरी बात, सुनिए मैंने ट्रू कॉलर इंस्टॉल किया। सुनिए नंबर देखिए, ये नंबर देखिए, नाम निकल आता है इस सॉफ्टवेयर से कि नंबर किसका है। तो इसमें नंबर निकला है, सुनिए,
किसी के फोन में डाल सकता है।
इसमें नंबर निकला है, देखिए फोन पे, और लोकेशन भी पता है। देखिए मैं अब जूम इन करूंगा, नंबर नाम निकलता है GCU नदीम, GCU नदीम 6, और लोकेशन भी आ जाता है। आप सुन रहे ना मेरी बात? ये ट्रू कॉलर सॉफ्टवेयर है जिससे मैंने इस वक्त न्यूज़ार पर GCU नदीम का लोकेशन दिखा दिया है। ये पाकिस्तान में जहां रेड डॉट नदीम है। नहीं देखिए आप कन्फ्रंट, नहीं आप देखिए, मैं देखिए आप ये जो आपका एक स्टैंडर्ड लेक्चर आपका होता है कि हम वी आर विक्टिम्स ऑफ, मैं सॉफ्टवेयर से दिखा रहा हूं कि GCU नदीम,
नहीं मैं तो आप
GCU नदीम
इतिहास
GCU नदीम 6 का लोकेशन बता रहा हूं कि ये फैमिली कहां की है।
नहीं होता है हमारे
आपको। मैंने आप देखिए, ये पहली बार मैंने टेलीविजन पर दिखा दिया आज। GCU नदीम का नंबर आता है, मैं नंबर नहीं बता रहा, मगर ये कह दूंगा कि +92 है, +92 पहले 2 नंबर है 31 और लास्ट 3 नंबर्स है 495। और GCU होता है गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी नदीम 6। नदीम उस्मान का भाई है और उसका लोकेशन मैंने अभी इस फोन पर दिखाया है। आप
देखो, आपने जो देखा है गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी से, इससे आतंकवाद कहां पे साबित होता है कि नदीम इस आतंकवाद में शामिल है?
नहीं ये प्रूव होता है पाकिस्तानी है ना, ये तो प्रूव हो जाता है ना, ये पाकिस्तानी है।
अरे पाकिस्तानी तो है, गलती से कोई भी
यही तो बात है, पाकिस्तानी है। नो पाकिस्तानी है तो क्या है?
भारतीय नागरिक भी सीमा को, रेखा को पार करके आ जाते हैं।
आपने तो अभी
लोग हमारी जो आपने सागर में, आप देखिए आपके जो हिंदू महासागर है,
नहीं सुनिए, आपने एडमिट तो कर दी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। मैं बड़ा ही शुक्रगुजार हूं आपका। नहीं सुनिए हाशमी जी, मैं बहुत ही शुक्रगुजार हूं कि इस एविडेंस को दिखाने के बाद, जो ट्रू कॉलर सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करके जो एविडेंस मैंने दिखाई, इसके बाद मैं बहुत ही शुक्रगुजार हूं। आप पहले पाकिस्तानी पैनलिस्ट है जो सॉफ्टवेयर पे हमने नाम दिखा दी, लोकेशन दिखा दी, और आपने मान ली कि ये पाकिस्तानी है।
तो आप मान चुके हैं हुआ कि वो
थैंक यू वेरी मच
आतंकवादी है।
मैं
आतंकवादी तो साबित नहीं होता है ना मेरे भाई,
सोशल वर्कर है।
कोई आदमी गलती से अगर बॉर्डर क्रॉस कर जाता, तो आतंकवादी कैसे साबित होता है?
ये नंबर देखिए, सुनिए हाशमी जी, यू आर अ लॉजिकल मैन। 1 सेकंड, आई थिंक आई हैव प्रूवन टू यू 3 थिंग्स।
वन, आप एक्सक्यूज मी,
नहीं
एक्सक्यूज मी,
जनरल गुलाम मुस्तफा,
प्लीज।
यस जनरल मुस्तफा
जी, मैं बात करना चाहता हूँ।
कहिए, मैंने तो एविडेंस दिखा दिया। भारत में सारे लोगों ने देखा।
हाशमी
जी
प्लीज मेरी बात सुनेंगे आप लोग? हाशमी साहब इज अ वेरी डिसेंट पॉलिटिशियन, ही डजंट नो हाउ द थिंग्स वर्क।
How do things work?
You think Pakistan comprises of totally imbeciles that they would send a man with everything which is made in Pakistan so that you guys can catch him and then get back to somewhere in Pakistan?
Sir, usually you do, but this time we caught him.
This is here. Excuse me, please.
Usually you do, but this time we caught him red-handed.
Give us some credit. Please give us some credit. We are not imbeciles, right? We know how things work.
So how did I get this? You tell me how did I get this number? You tell me how did I get this number?
This is not.
You tell me how did I get this number?
You want Indian numbers?
No, you tell me. No. General Ghulam Mustafa. General Ghulam Mustafa, मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आपको, आप मुझे बताएं आज। मैं तो इधर मुंबई में बैठा हूँ, मेरे पास नंबर कैसे आया?
जी बिल्कुल ठीक है,
मेरे पास नंबर कैसे?
यहाँ से अगर आप चाहते हैं तो मैं आपके हिंदुस्तान के फार्देस्ट कॉर्नर के
नहीं, मैंने तो नंबर दिखा दी है, मैंने लोकेशन बता दी है।
That is neither here nor there.
उन्होंने सुनिए जनरल मुस्तफा उन्होंने ये जो नवेद है, ये नवेद ने ये नंबर अब इंडियन इंटेरोगेटर्स को दे दिया। आप कह रहे पाकिस्तानी ने, मैंने नंबर लोकेशन से
पाकिस्तान की इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसीज इतनी अहमक हैं कि they would send a man with everything made in Pakistan so that you guys can catch him, get a number from him and get him to touch somebody here in Pakistan.
General Mustafa,
and so that you can establish the
General Mustafa Maroof Raza.
How things work.
No, General Mustafa Maroof Raza will respond. General Mustafa Maroof will respond. जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं, आप पकड़े गए।
जनरल साहब,
आप पकड़े गए इस बार।
जनरल साहब, जनरल साहब, इफ यू अलाउ मी,
बात तो सुनिए जी जी जी।
जनरल साहब, इफ यू अलाउ मी,
कितने आदमी चाहते हैं कि मैं पकड़ के पाकिस्तान से दे दूं आपको? जी जी, मैं सिर्फ बात अपनी खत्म कर रहा हूं,
आप दे दीजिए, देखिए आप दे दीजिए। बट
जी, मैं सिर्फ आपसे ये कहना चाहता हूं कि the kind of work that you're putting across, this intelligence false flag operation are very old. No, please get out of this. Come out with something new.
Okay.
Please come out with something new.
General,
something
General,
more.
let me ask.
$1.5 billion.
General,
can do that. Ji, please.
General, let me tell you. Let me ask you a few questions, sir. Let me ask you a few questions, and you tell me that if that is also a figment of our imagination. Yes, first question.
Please.
This chap was part of a team that ambushed a BSF convoy. So he was not a lost Pakistani who came in with the cattle from across the border. He came in with a purpose. There are the cattle strays across the border. You know it, I know it. Flag meetings are held and cattle is sent back. I think this chap is a little more than cattle. Point one. Point two. That you are saying that this is a figment of our media orchestrated exercise. Now I want to ask you and many of your other friends that when the BBC reported that the Indians were messing around in Karachi, that became an article of faith for you. When Christine Fair wrote in the Foreign Affairs Journal a one-line sentence saying that the Indians were arming the Baluchis from consulates in Afghanistan, that has become an article of faith for you. And when we are showing you live footage, just like in the Kasab case, you're not willing to answer, you're not willing to accept that, and your own DG FIA has gone and nailed the lie, leave aside everybody else. Now let me also remind you, sir, that your predecessor who was speaking just now, predecessor who was speaking, sir, meri baat sun lijiye. Last point, your predecessor who was talking about Bangladesh, you have been in denial for more than 30 years about the Hamidur Rahman Commission report. You have been in denial about
Maroof, let's come back to Usman.
Till your predecessor, General Syed. You have been in denial about 47-48 when General Akbar Khan wrote his biography. You have been in denial about 65 Operation Gibraltar till Ayub Khan confirmed it. And you are now telling us that we are constantly
that the Indian state has created
every 10 years,
the border of Pakistan.
Nehal Hashmi, the question is this. One second. Maroof, let our Pakistani guests answer some words tonight. 1 second. Maroof, a minute.
This is a fish market.
1 second. Barrister Zahid Syed. Barrister
Hamidur Rahman Commission is our internal matter.
Page 94, that she had no choice but to accept the alliance between the Hizbul Mujahideen and the LET and the ISI.
My question is to a former Prime Minister. I would like to say something.
And you are telling us that we are only
Maroof, let's no, 1 second. Denial number one to question to Barrister Maroof, 1 minute. Barrister, question to Barrister Zahid Syed.
I don't want to say all of you are involved,
Maroof,
but your S wing of the ISI, the S wing of the ISI is certainly involved.
Please let me speak.
LET-related violence.
Let me speak.
And this Karwai was a Lashkar operator.
Let me speak.
Period.
When an incident like this takes place, there should be an inquiry, and you cannot say such and such is guilty without an inquiry. Now, you think that if the ISI wanted to carry out an operation, they would carry out this small operation? You must use your common sense.
Brigadier Barrister Zahid Syed. Now listen to me.
Listen.
Barrister Zahid Syed, now listen to me. No, you listen to me, Barrister Zahid Syed. Your government, your agency has said today that the National Database Registration Authority of Pakistan does not have Usman registered as a citizen. Now you listen to me. Firstly, just like every Indian citizen is not registered on Aadhaar, every Pakistani citizen is not on your national database.
The matter needs, please, one person at a time.
I am asking one person. Can you answer my question?
Is that the matter does need further inquiry.
That's a standard answer.
But you cannot, don't saber rattle at us.
Now, Mr. Barrister Zahid Syed
is involved in saber
Barrister Zahid Syed, my question is to you.
Prime Minister
Can I just have the guest from Islamabad,
is saying good neighborly things to you. So you please stop the saber rattling. Your press is doing it. Your politicians are doing it. Your top leadership is saber rattling.
Okay, Barrister Zahid Syed, as you saw, so shall you read. Please listen.
There should be an inquiry.
Barrister Zahid Syed, we are in a discussion. You need to answer some questions tonight. Maroof, please 1 minute. My question to you is, please, Barrister Zahid Syed, Barrister Zahid Syed, please, can I only have the guest from Islamabad on the screen, please? Now, please listen to me. My question is to Barrister Zahid Syed. 1 second, Barrister Zahid Syed.
Let's go back to the Bombay attacks. Let's listen to the. Let's go back to the Bombay attacks, and please.
Can I please request you, General Ghulam Mustafa? My question is to Barrister Zahid Syed. Barrister Zahid Syed, tell me one thing.
Yes,
tell me one thing. Now, don't get. Just answer very factually. You say this man is not on your national database. That is an evasive tactic. You know, and I know, because this is exactly the same defense, is it not, that you mounted to deny Ajmal Kasab was a Pakistani citizen, and only to be proven wrong? Aren't you following the same pattern of denial now as you did then, Barrister Zahid Syed? Aren't you following the same pattern of denial?
There is no pattern. The government agencies are not involved in this, and they have made a denial. They must have grounds for the denial. And if there's an inquiry, you will find out whether this is correct.
Okay, one second. I request you. I request you to please tell. I request you to.
Look.
Sir, please don't lecture me on how you want peace. My question to you is this. I request you to let Times Now cameras enter the Ghulam Muhammadbad locality in Faisalabad. Why don't you let us enter the Ghulam Muhammadbad locality in Faisalabad? Why do you keep us out? We want to go to that location. If you have nothing to hide, let us go there, where this fellow is from. Why don't you let cameras go in?
Make a request to.
Make a request.
Please make a request to our government. Why have you blocked
Pakistani? Why have you blocked Pakistani media from going towards Ghulam Muhammadbad locality in Faisalabad, which is the address provided by Naved?
Look.
No, why have you? You answer me.
Oh, come on, I'm not your bloody. I am not being interrogated.
But I'm asking you the questions and you're taking a defense. You take a clear position.
You cannot interrogate.
You don't let the media come in and you say have an inquiry.
This is not a program. This is a fish market.
Sir, in the video, Mohammad Naved admits he's a Pakistani. Sir, you sent a Pakistani.
I will not admit anything to you.
Why wouldn't you?
You are accusing.
Yes, I am accusing.
Without any substance.
Well, I am asking you, is it true or not?
I accuse you. I accuse your defense minister for saber rattling.
Keep your cool, sir.
For supporting terrorists.
Keep your cool, sir, Barrister. Don't get personal. Keep your cool.
I accuse.
Keep your cool,
I accuse on behalf of the government of Pakistan.
Well, if you're
that you people are saber rattling. Your Prime Minister saber rattling. Your Defense Minister saber rattling.
Now,
and we are telling you we want good neighborly relations. If he's a Pakistani, show it in an inquiry that he's a Pakistani.
We showed you the video.
And incidentally, if he comes from Faisalabad, it means nothing. Your BJP President Bajpai was also from Pakistan.
I think you lost the argument right there, Barrister.
It proves nothing.
You lost the argument right there. By the way, Barrister, in the video, now listen to me, I heard you, and I think you're saber rattling, sir. My question, and I get the other Indian panelists in. This is absolutely brilliant tonight. 2 out of the 3 Pakistani panelists have admitted that he's from Pakistan. Now, in the video, he admits he infiltrated into Indian territory from Pakistan.
Please listen to
now,
me.
Please, Sushant Sareen responding. Sushant Sareen, now please. Sushant Sareen responding on the pattern of denial of the Pakistanis. Sushant Sareen. आप सुनिए, Barrister.
No, you know, the interesting thing, Arnab, is if you can just make these guys keep quiet, I can talk. Because they keep talking, how can anybody talk?
Barrister,
it's a monologue then.
जो उन्होंने कहा कि हमने आपकी
को एडमिट नहीं किया,
हमारा रक्तदान,
you know, I am appalled that somebody who's just got elected to the Pakistani Senate has just come to understand what happened in 1971. I think this guy is some kind of a Rip Van Winkle who's just woken up. He doesn't know what happened in 1971. So I really have a pity on this fellow. You know, General Ghulam Mustafa is also, I think, is very rich of him. He sits on the Pakistani television screen, conjures up all the very elaborate conspiracy theories, and here he is, who's saying that, you know, no, if you have some evidence, please present it. I've never seen him present even a shred of evidence. Now, let me just say one thing. All these guys have admitted that this guy is a Pakistani. Incidentally, General Ghulam Mustafa says he's an innocent Pakistani. Now, I want to ask, if an innocent Pakistani inadvertently crossed over the border, was there any missing person report? Normally, when something like this happens, the Pakistani press says that somebody went across and who was apprehended on the Indian side. There is nothing in the Pakistani press for the last 1 month which says that somebody by this name or somebody of this description crossed over inadvertently and, you know, was apprehended by the Indians. Now, for them to say that this guy was a poor guy, number one, normally the guys who accidentally cross over are from the Pakistan occupied Kashmir areas. I have not heard of anybody from Faisalabad who comes to the Pakistan occupied Kashmir and then inadvertently crosses the line of control. So this is again kind of disingenuous coming from these people. Finally, I think it's very important. I think what is... Sir, can you keep quiet? What's wrong with you? This is the barristery that you've learned in London.
Barrister, he heard you.
What kind of people are you? You just keep talking. No, what kind of a barrister are you? You don't listen to somebody making his argument, you keep interrupting.
We are listening.
The final argument I want to make is that I can't understand is, as these people say that this guy might be a non-state actor, why are they defending a non-state actor? When at one side they say that Pakistan is in the vanguard of the war against terror, on the other side they are defending a non-state actor, then they are only defending him because that non-state actor is actually a quasi-state actor, if not exactly a state actor, because the groups whom he represents are actually auxiliaries of the state. So, you know, this charade we have seen in Kasab's case, initially he was not from Faridkot. Faridkot was in India. Then it turned out that he is from Faridkot. Then it was that his name is not there in the Nadra database. Then finally they admitted that this guy is from here. Then they came up with this very fancy conspiracy theory that he was a trader. He was actually a handcart pusher actually. But he was a big trader who had gone to Nepal, who had been kidnapped in Nepal by the Indian intelligence agencies and kept in reserve to be used in Mumbai. So these kind of bizarre conspiracy theories these guys keep floating. I don't expect them to admit that this guy is this, because this is not the nature of the Pakistani state.
Reply me one simple question.
Okay. To Islamabad now, please. To Nehal Hashmi.
This Usman is very ordinary man. I want a clear statement that worthy Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, has categorically made a statement in Dhaka that
have you just woken up after 40 years?
No, 40 or 400 years.
So, okay,
but woken up after 40 years, they don't know what happened to their own country.
One second, Nehal Hashmi, my question to you. Mr. Hashmi, my question is to you. Please answer the question. No, 1 second. My question is to Mr. Hashmi. Mr. Hashmi, my question to you is very basic and very simple. Can you tell me how many, you have a population of some 160, 170 million. How much of your population is covered by your national database? You are a senator. You should know. How much of your population is covered by your national database? Tell me, Nehal Hashmi.
We are trying to cover each and every person.
No, how many are covered?
Obviously not 100%.
Okay, can I tell you something?
It is not 100%.
Can I tell you something, Nehal Hashmi? Because there's no point getting into a needless argument on this. I'm sorry to inform you, Nehal Hashmi, that not even half the Pakistani population is covered by your national database. So this silly and ignorant argument that this man can't be a Pakistani. 1 minute, Nehal Hashmi, my question. सवाल खत्म करता हूं, उसके बाद जवाब दे. आप कह रहे हैं जो पाकिस्तानी नहीं है क्योंकि नेशनल डेटाबेस में इनका नाम नहीं है, तो आप फिर कहिए आज इस प्रोग्राम पर कि वहां पे 80 मिलियन पाकिस्तानीज है, आपकी सारे पॉपुलेशन, हाफ योर पॉपुलेशन पाकिस्तानी नहीं है। ये किस तरह का लॉजिक है? आप समझ रहे हैं आप क्या कह रहे हैं? आप कह रहे हैं हर दूसरा पाकिस्तानी पाकिस्तानी नहीं है भाई। नहीं, देखिए निहाल जी, इसका जवाब दीजिए प्लीज, लोग देख रहे हैं, जवाब दीजिए, जवाब दीजिए, जवाब दीजिए। आज
आदमी को पकड़ लिया। देखिए
नहीं जवाब दे मुझे।
वकील भी हूँ, देखिए मैं वकील भी हूँ, देखिए मैं वकील भी हूँ।
वकील हो मगर लॉजिकल थिंकिंग तो रखे वहां पे थोड़ा सा।
सर सुन लेना,
थिंक लॉजिकली।
पॉइंट आपने अभी तक रिमांड पे रखा हुआ है, आपने उसके एविडेंस कलेक्ट नहीं किया है।
अरे भाई,
आपने उसके चार्जशीट नहीं बनाया।
आप सुनिए,
इट इज अंडर इंक्वायरी।
नहीं
और आपने जजमेंट दे दिया।
नहीं निहाल हाशमी, मेरा सवाल का जवाब क्यों नहीं दे रहे हैं आप? मेरे सवाल का जवाब क्यों नहीं दे रहे? सुनिए नो 1 सेकंड, सुनिए निहाल हाशमी जी, सारा मैंने बड़ा लॉजिकल सवाल आपसे पूछा। और ये सवाल क्यों पूछा मैंने आपसे? क्योंकि लोगों को याद है, पाकिस्तान के लोगों को याद है और हिंदुस्तान भारत के लोगों को याद है कि अजमाल कसाब को जब जिंदा पकड़ा था मुंबई के सड़कों पर, तब आपने यही कहा था पाकिस्तानी सिटीजन नहीं है। तब लोगों ने पूछा था कि कैसे आपको पता है पाकिस्तानी सिटीजन नहीं है? तब आपके इंटीरियर मिनिस्टर रहमान मलिक हुआ करते थे। उन्होंने कहा कि नाड्रा का जो डेटाबेस है, नेशनल डेटाबेस, उसमें अजमाल कसाब का नाम है ही नहीं। उस वक्त हमने आपको कहा था कि 160 मिलियन के पॉपुलेशन के बीच में सिर्फ 60 मिलियन पॉपुलेशन को कवर किया है, यानी कि 100 मिलियन पाकिस्तानीज आर नॉट इन द डेटाबेस। आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं। आज आप वही कॉपी कैट आर्ग्यूमेंट फिर यूज कर रहे हैं। मैं आपको कह रहा हूं, आप क्या कह रहे हैं? पाकिस्तान के लोग आप पर हंसेंगे।
अरे भाई, मैं
पाकिस्तान के लोग आप पर हंसेंगे। नहीं, आप क्या कह रहे हैं कि उसका नाम डेटाबेस में नहीं है इसलिए पाकिस्तानी नहीं है?
आप हम पाकिस्तानी वेपन दे दें, पाकिस्तानी फोन नंबर दे दें, पाकिस्तानी सारी लॉजिस्टिक सपोर्ट दे दें, ये कहीं होता नहीं है।
अच्छा, दूसरी बात,
फिल्में देखते हैं, क्या फिल्मों में कभी होता है कि वो अपनी आइडेंटिटी को डिस्क्लोज करता हो? इट इज इम्पॉसिबल, नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल।
अच्छा, दूसरी बात
पे होता है।
दूसरी बात, अभी मैं फोन पे ट्रू कॉलर सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करके, एंड दिस वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, आबिद राव, यू कैन लुक एट इट, ट्रू कॉलर सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करके मैंने लोकेशन पता कर लिया है उनके फैमिली का। 1 सेकंड, आबिद राव, लेट द कैमरा जूम इन।
आपके मुल्क से कहीं से कोई लोकेशन होता है, इट इज नॉट एन एविडेंस, इट इज नॉट एन एविडेंस। मैंने आपसे एक सवाल पूछा था कि आपके प्रधानमंत्री ने जो ढाका में यूनिवर्सिटी में बात की थी कि उनकी जो वो स्वाधीनता की आंदोलन की मुक्ति बाहिनी में
बांग्लादेश, मारूफ,
वो भी योद्धा थे, उनको कहां ले जाएंगे?
Abid Rao from London wants to come into the debate. Abid Rao, I find one pattern.
I want to come in.
Come in, 1 second. Abid Rao.
If you ask other people to keep
Abid Rao, I can come in. Abid Rao, 1 second. Abid Rao, 1 second. 1 second, Abid Rao. Now let's be very reasonable about this, okay? Right on TV right now, there are faces of 2 terrorists from Pakistan. On the right-hand side of the Times Now screen is Ajmal Kasab, on the left-hand side is Usman Khan. There are many similarities. But I am going to show you now, if you just look at this, I don't know if you have a camera next to you, we have been able to locate exactly where this man's family is. आप देखिए ना कैमरा पर Truecaller software यूज करके हमने पता किया है where this man is. ये लोकेशन पाकिस्तान का निकला, ये टाइम्स नाउ ने खुद पता किया है. First point. The second point is, you said you could not find his name in the database earlier. GeoNews proved you wrong. You said he was not arrested from the crime scene. That was proven wrong. Ajmal Kasab. You questioned why India revealed his identity and not of the other attackers, only to be cornered when the identities of all the attackers were revealed to be Pakistani. You even claimed in the case of Ajmal Kasab that a letter was recovered from him that did not match that of a real Pakistani, only for you to belatedly admit he was a Pakistani. My question to you is, why are you embarrassing yourself, Abid Rao? ये झूठ के बाद झूठ, झूठ के बाद झूठ, कितने झूठ आप वो कहेंगे?
मेरा जवाब ये है, so what if he is a Pakistani?
3 or 4 Pakistani panelists admit now.
Was he sent by government of Pakistan? So what? Pakistan may for last 30 years we have captured Egyptians, Saudis, Libyans, Chechens, Uzbeks, but we haven't blamed their governments, their intelligence agencies for planting these individuals. There are these individuals on both sides who can be terrorists. But what I've seen since yesterday morning on the Indian press is, it was like a comedy movie. The man is saying, I have come here to kill Hindus. It looks nice. He's smiling. He's joking. I mean, that is not how you deal with the terrorists. Number 2, you have made it very simple to blame the ISI, Lashkar-e-Taiyiba and all. These are very serious matters to be settled on media. 2 of us cannot settle this issue or put the blame and say that I am the winner because the other party is proven wrong. I mean, I'm not ashamed if he is a Pakistani. there is a lot that is yet to be proven against him.
Abid Rao.
And that process needs government-to-government contact.
Marshal Abid Rao.
I agree that he may not be registered on our national database.
Marshal Abid Rao.
Please.
Air Marshal Abid Rao, Maroof would like to respond to you. I will let him come in. But before that, may I please make a point to you and don't take it personally. Yes, there is a comedy show going on. And that comedy show is called the Inter-Services Public Relations and ISI Office. And there's a second comedy show which is called the Pakistan Foreign Office. They don't have the guts to respond to one single query. That's the existing comedy show. A Pakistani man caught alive trying to carry out a terror operation in India. Not one word.
Please
no, one complete silence about this.
Share your things with Pakistan.
Sir, you tell me why the ISIs remain silent about it.
No, I can understand. He may not be registered. But you tell me. On media, you cannot prove anybody a terrorist or innocent.
Sir, the man has been quoted as saying, it is fun doing this. He says, I came to kill Hindus. He's been indoctrinated. Why is Hafiz Saeed quiet? You know what his family has said? 1 minute. Do you know what his family has said? His family has said that we are... 1 minute. You know what he said? You know what his family said? His family said, when a journalist called him, he said, I'm going to be killed. The Lashkar-e-Toiba is after our family. Sara Pakistani Fauj hamare piche pada hua hai. We will be killed. I am the unfortunate father. Do you ever think of what's happening in your country?
This is a very...
No, do you realize what kind of forces you have let loose in your country?
And hoping that will be settled.
So do you...
Even if we...
where is Hafiz Saeed?
It doesn't matter whether he's Pakistani or he's an Egyptian or a Saudi or anybody.
I'm asking you whether he's a Pakistani. I'm not asking you whether he's Saudi.
Multinational terrorists in Pakistan, they are mercenaries. And they can be
Sir, the
trained,
father has said,
okay, the father has said,
the father has said, one second, the father has said, Barrister Zahid Syed, the father has said, since you speak for the government, the father has said, the Fauj is after us. I understand that to be a reference to the Pakistani army.
No.
One second. To Barrister Zahid Syed, the father, what is irresponsible?
Trust me.
What is irresponsible? What is irresponsible? What is irresponsible about this? I'm asking Barrister Zahid Syed, who said, Barrister Zahid Syed,
of that
Pakistan army was after him. No, this is a comedy show, sitcom that India has been trying to stage.
My question is only to Barrister Zahid Syed, please.
You had in Bombay.
Only Barrister Zahid Syed, please.
There was this.
Can he be on the screen, please?
Bombay, off the coast
Arnab,
of Bombay, there was this.
I am only asking the question to Barrister Zahid Syed because he said
was saying that there are Pakistanis.
1 second, only him, please, on the screen. Barrister Zahid Syed. Barrister Zahid Syed, आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
I'm listening.
Okay, if you're listening, then my question to you is this.
I can't hear you too clearly, but I'm listening.
You tell me, why is the Pakistani army trying to kill the family of this terrorist? The boy's father has said कि पाकिस्तानी आर्मी हमारे पीछे पड़ी हुई है. लश्कर-ए-तोयबा हमको मार डालना चाहती है. लश्कर-ए-तोयबा चाहती थी कि इस लड़के that my son was caught dead and not alive. That is what the father has said. Why is he saying this?
If the Pakistan army were after him, it's after all terrorists in this country. You must understand, there's been a Supreme Court judgment giving them the right to hold courts and against these terrorists.
No, you said.
So if the Pakistan army was after him, they would have been after him because of the terrorism question.
Really? So and why does the ISI then not make a statement about it? Why is the Pakistan army quiet? Why is the Pakistan army quiet? Why is the ISI being quiet about this? In the video, Mohammad Nawed admits he's a Pakistani. Is that not enough proof? In the video, Mohammad Nawed admits that he infiltrated into Indian territory from Pakistan. Is that not enough proof?
What do you want to prove?
There's nothing to prove.
What do you want? You want to prove he's a Pakistani? Well, prove it. The point is, so what if he's a Pakistani? Even if you prove it, it's a Pakistani. So what? Who sent him? That's the point to inquire. Now, why would the ISI do such a pinprick to India? This is nothing but a pinprick.
Sir, since you concede, Barrister Zahid Syed, you listen to me. He confessed to having met a Lashkar commando by the code. Listen to me. He confessed to having met a Lashkar commando by the code name Hamza, who directed him to the south of Kashmir. He had undergone training in a Lashkar-e-Toiba camp located in Muzaffarabad. He confessed to having stayed at different hideouts in Awantipura and Pulwama before shifting back to Kulgam, all areas in J&K, and he was provided vital information about the movement of the army convoy by the army of Pakistan. He was guided by a Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist who asked him to flee after the attack to a nearby forest and seek a hideout. He is said to have celebrated Eid in advance. Right? Your persistent demand for proof, what all of this proves, and tonight, since you said you speak for the Pakistani army, say tonight on the program before all the Indian viewers tonight, say that you lied about Kasaf. No.
My dear, stop behaving like a court of law.
You respond to one question tonight. Respond to one question.
You are saber-rattling.
You respond to one question with fact tonight. You've lost the argument on television. All over people in India are watching you right now. My sources tell me that Mohammad Nawed was mentored by a person called Abu Qasim, who is a wanted Lashkar-e-Toiba commander.
Why is he smiling? Why is he smiling? Why a man caught in that position wouldn't be smiling? Why is he smiling?
That's your only argument left. Maroof, that's the only argument left. Maroof Raza responding from Delhi to you tonight.
May I tell the good barrister, sir?
Who he is.
Sir, Barrister Saab, I've heard you. Now you listen to my counterpoint. Since you are a legal luminary, I'm sure you also trained to listen in as much as passing judgment. Please hear me. I'll give you 5 points. Point 1. Why is he smiling? What did he do? He carried out a terror attack where he killed 2 soldiers, injured 10 others. Why is he smiling? Even Kasab was smiling jab uska drug aur nasha utar gaya tha. All these people, once the operation is over, they start behaving like a semi-lunatic behavior. That's the pattern which the psychologists have established. The second point I wish to tell you, sir, that it is very clear that you are saying this evidence is not admissible. You tell me as a legal luminary, sir, is it evidence on camera admissible in the court of law? And this guy is admitted on camera without any pressure on him when he was just caught ke haan main Pakistan se aaya hu. Okay, you don't want to admit that. Third, in Karachi, the BBC said, some BBC reporter has probably alluded that we are involved in creating trouble in Karachi, when long before the Economist had written to say that Karachi is the most unsafe city in the world, where one group or the other is fighting each other, from the Taliban to the MQM. It's a death trap for most citizens. But one comment by a journalist outside is a word of God for you. And when the entire evidence is being provided, you are not willing to accept. Can I also remind you, sir, that in the ISI, it is not that the DG ISI knows everything. There are separate desks that handle separate cases. There is S wing that handles attacks on India, and its information is based on need-to-know basis. Shuja Pasha admitted this to the Americans after the 26/11 attacks, when he was himself taken by surprise because some information was not handed down to him by General Kayani, who had actually plotted the attack as DG ISI and then moved on to become chief. Ab usko bhi aap deny kar dijiye. This is all recorded evidence. The Rand Corporation says that there is a great deal of rift between the Pakistan army and the moderates and the hardliners. There are some people who are going to continue with this agenda. And let me remind you and your other interlocutors, you keep citing about Bangladesh. Why were you reluctant to make public the Hamidur Rahman Commission
report? Yes, Maroof, the point on Bangladesh has been made. I want to go back to Usman, Maroof. 1 second. Going back to the issue on, going back to the question on Usman, Maroof.
Which nails your lie is non-acceptable.
Going back,
anything which corroborates your thesis is acceptable.
Maroof.
I mean, how do you call yourself a legal person when you're not willing to accept the evidence?
Maroof, the question is very simple, and I think tonight our Pakistani guests...
My position. Please listen to my position. Please listen to my position. I feel that such incidents need to be inquired into, and that you should not start passing judgment of doing propaganda on the television between these two nuclear states. We want good neighborly relations, and we do not want this sort of stuff.
Sir, then
right?
go. No, one second.
India to be
just a minute. If you want to do that, Barrister,
this is our policy.
If you want to do that, Barrister Zahid Syed, because you said that you want good neighborly relations, we would like good neighborly relations as well. But I want to know how you are letting two terror courses called the Daura-e-Ama, and there is another course called Daur-e-Am and Daur-e-Khas, commando training being carried out by Hafiz Saeed in Muzaffarabad. Now you know that both Ajmal Kasab and Mohammad Naved, listen to me, मोहम्मद सुनिए ना, सच्ची जो सच होता है वो कड़वी होती है, सुन लीजिए। अजमाल कसाब और मोहम्मद नावेद जो दोनों थे टेररिस्ट आपके आतंकवादी, दोनों को कॉम्बैट ट्रेनिंग दिया गया बेसिक और एडवांस लेवल्स पे, वहां पे मुजफ्फराबाद पे। तो मैं सवाल तो बहुत सीधा कर रहा हूं, सारे भारत के लोग ये सवाल पूछ रहे हैं कि आप ये ट्रेनिंग कैंप बंद क्यों नहीं करते? आप मुजफ्फराबाद को भेजिए, वहां पे आईएसआई क्या कर रही है वहां पे? आबिद राव क्या चाहते हैं आप? आबिद राव,
आप एक काम,
you realize you are playing with fire out here.
काम करें,
you are playing with the patience of the Indian people.
जवाब मैं आपको देता हूं,
आप बताइए।
इसको जवाब मैं देता हूं। आप अगर कश्मीर में जो उनका हक है, अगर वो अकॉर्डिंग टू यूएन रेजोल्यूशन देते, जैसे नेहरू साहब नहीं,
ये आपका ब्रोकन रिकॉर्ड बंद कीजिए आप। नहीं, बहुत हो गया आपका ब्रोकन रिकॉर्ड। सुशांत सरीन रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे। आप देखिए, ऐसा है, आप आज देखिए जाहिद सैयद जी, मुझे सबसे
you will kill people in the thousands and they will throw flowers at you, for God's sake. And there have to be groups that will oppose you.
So you
throw flowers at them.
One second. You know what has happened today? 3, and viewers must note this. 3 out of 4 Pakistan panelists. No, Sushant. 3 out of 4 Pakistan panelists have admitted he's a Pakistani. They have justified the use of terrorism. The ISI is absolutely quiet. No, this is the whole atmosphere has changed now, Abid Rao. Now you come on TV programs saying, yes, we use terrorism. So what? There is no subtlety about it anymore.
In law, what happens is...
Sushant Sareen.
In law, what happens is, and all lawyers practice this, you argue the facts, but if the facts are against you, you argue the law. Which is what, in a manner of speaking, what the good barrister and the rest of the Pakistani guests on your show are trying to do. So once they lose the argument on facts, then they start arguing on, Kashmir, terrorism, there were these guys who came from all over the world, etc., etc. The simple fact of the matter is,
it's your actions that have created the groups in reaction.
What according to him is admissible evidence. Now, they have, and this is in his own country. Just yesterday, the Pakistan Supreme Court says that, look, you can't get this kind of evidence, so we will have these summary courts run by the military, which are basically kangaroo courts, and we will hang people. Now, this and out here, they want the most exacting standards of evidence, which is what, if you remember the article by Tariq Khosa, where he writes all the evidence which was procured against those 7 guys who were standing trial on the 26/11, is that admissible evidence or is that not admissible evidence? What has happened to that case then? So the point is that these guys will
our laws
continue to dissemble. They first deny. When the denials are not possible, then they will get into this rhetorical kind of statement as these people are doing right now.
You have to produce
that is what is happening.
You have to produce evidence.
So what evidence do you want? What evidence do you want? What is the evidence you want? What are your standards of evidence?
Well, I'm not the judge. It is the judge who's applying the law.
Now you are not the judge. Are you the lawyer?
Courts to say.
Are you the lawyer of this guy?
I'm the lawyer.
You are the lawyer of this guy. So आप इसकी वकालत कर रहे हैं.
Look, I've come onto your program, an Indian program, and I don't want propaganda. I want hull of...
But you are not doing us any favor by coming on an Indian program.
I'll tell you what, बात सुने. मेरे प्राइमरी ऑब्जेक्शन ये है कि आपने जो बायलैटरल डायलॉग कॉम्पोजिट था उसको छोड़ दिया है. आपने क्यों छोड़ा है उसे?
क्या बायलैटरल डायलॉग की बात कर रहे हैं? आप सुनिए जाहिद सैयद जी, क्या बायलैटरल डायलॉग की बात कर रहे हैं? आप ये क्या डायलॉग कराने? आप पहले तो जाहिद सैयद जी मारूफ रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हैं आपको, फाइनल रिस्पॉन्स है मारूफ से, मगर ये तो समझ ले डायलॉग की बात क्या कर रहे हैं? आप पहले ISI को कंट्रोल कीजिए।
बैरिस्टर साहब,
यस मारूफ।
हाँ, Barrister Saab, let me remind you, sir, why was the composite dialogue stalled? Because they adopted to terror attacks on Indian citizens. आप terrorism का वास्ता छोड़ दें सर, और हम composite dialogue को अपना लेंगे. You cannot expect us to talk to you when you are not willing to listen and you continue to kill innocent Indians. Our point of view is very clear. If Kashmir is an article of faith, if Kashmir is an article,
tell your Prime Minister,
if Kashmir, no, Barrister Saab, hear me. If Kashmir is an article of faith, Barrister Saab, if Kashmir is an article of faith for you, the safety and well-being of every Indian citizen is the article of faith for every Indian and the government of India. Unless you can guarantee us the safety of Indians, we will not talk to you in a comprehensive composite dialogue. You abandon terrorism, we'll go back to the discussion tables and start the dialogue process.
Stop doing,
you cannot do chest thumping and try and arm twist us into falling into line by doing terror attacks. And terror attacks under a nuclear umbrella.
I never thought
shocking
that the Indians are so subjective.
Well, let me tell you, the Indians, 1 second, you need to have absolutely no assumptions about Indians, because Indians are very firm. Indians are very clear. Indians are telling you, forget your dreams about Kashmir and stop trying to destabilize our country. We are bigger than you. We are stronger than you. We are more peaceful than you. But we will not, as Ajit Doval rightly said the other day, we will not punch below our weight anymore. And be worried about the consequences. Now, Barrister, remember this. Barrister, the only saber rattling is by you tonight. What is happening here tonight, what you need to do, what you need to do,
don't saber rattle.
No, 1 second. What you need to do is go back and realize that you're patronizing a man called Hafiz Saeed. Mohammad Nawed was his recruit. Hafiz Saeed carried out 2611. He is your recruit. Hafiz Saeed is protected by your country and is a free man. He is the man pushing these infiltrators. And he is team B for the ISI. I am telling you tonight, if your ISI has the slightest ounce of guts, let it come out and admit that it sent this fellow across the border. Because otherwise the ISI is what it is. It is nothing but a bunch of cowards in the name of army men. That's the message you need to send out to the ISI. They send these half...
Shame on you
they send... You can say what you want. You can send what... I am telling you, this is what the ISI is. They are nothing but a bunch of cowards who push these boys across.
Institution of Pakistan.
Well, I am sure it is. Then ask them why they are silent tonight.
Yes.
Ask them why they are silent tonight. Ask them why they are silent.
Barrister Saab, it is part of your deep state. It is your deep state. It controls your country. It controls your politicians. It controls your policy on India. That is why it is important to you.
I thank you all. Tonight, 3 out of 4 Pakistani guests have admitted that this fellow, Nawed Usman, whatever his name is, a Pakistani. That, in my view, is a big admission. Now we need to go and nail the Pakistani establishment once and for all. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.